Hey everybody, I thought it might be a good time to take a look at some fall planting. It's October 2nd and we finished up on the 27th of September. This video was shot on the 22nd of September and I didn't get a lot of variety in my footage because this equipment belongs to Primeland, our local co-op, and they come and do custom work like this from time to time, and they've been doing my planting for the last 4 or 5 years. They seem to do a pretty good job, and they get it done in a timely fashion. Before them, there were a couple other custom operations that seeded for me, including one neighbor who, after he planted, the wheat was so good that I parked my rod weeders and never looked back. We've been direct seed ever since. Now, the reason for being direct seed is several-fold. One, it's less expensive, I believe, than it was in the conventional tillage where we were working this ground all the time. But you look at this hillside here, and every one of the dips that you're going to see on this hillside in a normal year would have a ditch in the bottom of it. And this was summer fall wheat stubble. I finished harvesting this on September 4th, and he's seeding back into it already, which is a little earlier than what I would normally do that, but the drill was available, so it made sense. But in a summer fallow situation where we would have tilled that ground and kept it bare for the whole 2018 season until we planted in the fall, there wouldn't have been much integrity in the old root system or anything to hold soil in place, and so we'd get a lot of erosion. And the ditches were pretty bad in this particular field especially. And since we started this, the ditches are gone, the organic matter is up by about 50%, and it's just been a really great way to go for us. Now in this shot, you kind of get an idea just how far that drainage is. You can't see the top of the hill. It's almost a half a mile on up the hill from where that tractor is. So it's got quite a run heading towards the river. And to be able to seed this and have no worries about erosion is just amazing. Alright, let's take a quick look at the equipment we're using. That's a 550 horsepower Case quad track. And those quad tracks are unquestionably the best way you can get horsepower to the ground. There are reasons why tires might be better, but in this application they really shine. There's a 650 gallon tank on the nose of the tractor for fertilizer, and also another 650 gallon in the middle of the commodity cart. Now, you can't really fill those full on the side of a hill, but it gives you about 1,000 gallons of actual usable capacity in this situation. Now, in the center of the drill, you see that red box. That's where the seed goes, and it about 100 bushel capacity. Now, underneath of that seed box is a fluted feed that's run by a hydraulic motor. And that's how it gets the seed into the tube. And then there's a big fan that blows it up into that tower in the center of the drill. Each one of those openers has a hose that runs to it specifically, and it all goes through that manifold at the top of that pipe in the center of the drill. Now, there's meters on each one of those hoses. So if something plugs up, there's going to be an alarm in the cab, and James is going to be able to stop and fix it before he seeds half the field with a couple of openers plug and leaves me a nasty skip. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the openers, because that seems to be one of the most important parts of any drill. That seed is going to come down, and it's going to come through this tube right here, and it's going to follow down into this opener. Now, if we come around to the back side of this opener, you can see that there's 2 holes, one on each side, one there and one there, where the seed comes out. Those things are about 5 inches wide in total, and they make a nice paired row. Now in the center of this thing kind of firms up the soil because up in front on this point, there is a little hole right underneath where the fertilizer comes out. And that fertilizer is located between those 2 rows of seed and roughly 3 to 4 inches below it. You don't want too much fertilizer right near the seed, or when it sprouts, the conditions will just be too hot and it will burn the seed. But by putting it slightly below and off to one side, it just makes it a perfect environment for your plants to just grow right into that band of nutrients. Now, it has these little discs here as well, and those kind of help throw the dirt back into the furrow. And they're kind of a mixed bag of blessings. It sure makes a nice smooth field, but at the same time it kind of tends to drag a little bit of trash, I think. Now, on the back of the drill, we've got this row of packer wheels. There's one packer for each furrow, and these things are spaced 15 inches apart on center. So basically it's 5 inches of paired row, then there's a 10-inch skip, and then there's 5 inches of paired row again. So it makes a nice even field, puts the spacing about right for this country anyway. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. All of our fields should look this way before Thanksgiving, and this is going to be huge by then. But gives you a good idea of what that paired row looks like. And here's my agronomy crew. They're checking out the winter wheat on a rather windy day. I think Lorelei's running over there to see if she can catch that weed. And just like that, we're back on the home place. This was the last day of planting. You can see my neighbor's winter wheat across the valleys coming up and looking beautiful. It was seeded by a couple of young fellas at Whitman County Custom. You could probably find them on Facebook if you were interested. And I want to give a heartfelt shout out to James Orton and all of the Primeland crew who helped get our crop in this fall. And God bless everyone. I hope you have a prosperous year. Catch you on the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll see if I can answer them.